My beloved child, something has shifted, and the reason you are hearing these words right now is more surprising than you expect. Somewhere beyond what you can currently see, a journey has begun, a journey connected to a person who has been carrying thoughts of you for far longer than anyone realizes. Your soulmate is traveling toward you because staying distant no longer feels right to them. But here is where the story becomes unexpected. This journey is not simply about reaching a destination. It is about finally facing a truth they have avoided saying aloud. There was a moment recently when everything became clear to them. One memory of you returned so strongly that they could no longer pretend the connection meant nothing. And from that moment, their decision started forming. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the real reason behind this journey has not yet been revealed, and when you hear it, everything about their silence may suddenly make sense. What happened before they began traveling is the part nobody expected. They had been trying to convince themselves that more time would make their feelings easier to understand. Instead, every passing day made one truth harder to ignore. They remembered conversations, little details, and moments that seemed ordinary at the time but now carried a completely different meaning. Then something happened that forced them to make a choice. They realized that if they continued waiting, they might lose the opportunity to tell you what they had been keeping inside. That realization changed everything. Don't skip. The biggest surprise is not that they started moving toward you. It is what they hope will happen when this distance finally disappears. They are carrying words they have rehearsed in their mind again and again, yet there is one sentence they still do not know how to say. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because that sentence holds the key to why this journey suddenly became so important. And now the mystery becomes deeper. This person is not moving forward because everything is perfectly planned. They are moving because something inside them finally became stronger than hesitation. They know there are questions between you. They know there may have been silence, uncertainty, or moments when you wondered whether this connection was ever going anywhere. But their journey represents a decision. They no longer want uncertainty to speak for them. There is something they want you to understand directly from them, not through assumptions or somebody else's words. And just when you think you know what that revelation will be, another truth is waiting behind it. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the reason your soulmate is traveling toward you is connected to a decision they recently made, a decision involving you, their future, and a promise they have been afraid to reveal. And what they decided next could completely change the direction of this story. Something unexpected happened before this journey began, and it completely changed the way your soulmate was thinking about you. For a long time, they believed they could wait. They thought another day, another week, or another month would somehow make everything easier. But then came one quiet moment when they imagined what their future would look like if they never told you the truth. That thought stayed with them. Suddenly, the distance between you did not feel comfortable anymore. It felt like unfinished business. And that is when they made the decision to move forward. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is one detail about this journey that changes everything. they are not simply coming closer because they miss your presence. They are coming because they have finally reached a decision about something they once believed they would never be brave enough to say. Here is where everything becomes even more surprising. During this journey, they keep replaying one particular memory involving you. It may have seemed small when it happened, a conversation, a kind moment, or something you said without realizing how deeply it stayed with them. But that memory became the turning point. It reminded them that what they feel cannot simply be replaced or forgotten. They started realizing that the connection they had been questioning was the same connection they kept returning to whenever everything else became quiet. Don't skip. There is still another revelation coming. They have been preparing words in their mind, changing them, questioning them, and wondering how you will react when you finally hear them. Yet underneath all those thoughts is one clear intention: they want you to know where you truly stand with them. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the most important part of their decision has still not been revealed. And now comes the detail that could change the entire meaning of this journey. Your soulmate has realized that reaching you is only the beginning. What matters most is the conversation they want to have afterward. They do not want another confusing moment or another unanswered question. They want clarity. They want to finally explain why they waited, what changed their mind, and why they suddenly felt that now was the moment to move toward you. But there is one final secret behind their decision, something connected to the future they have quietly imagined. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because when they finally reveal what they have been planning, you may discover that this journey began long before they started traveling. It began the moment they privately made a choice about you, and in the next part, the reason behind that choice changes everything. The truth behind that choice is finally beginning to surface, and it is far bigger than simply missing someone. Your soulmate reached a point where pretending everything was normal became impossible. In this story, they have been carrying an unfinished conversation inside their heart, remembering the things they should have said and the moments when they almost spoke but remained silent. Then came the realization that changed their direction completely. If they kept waiting for the perfect moment, that moment might never arrive. So they chose movement over hesitation. They chose answers over uncertainty. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because while traveling toward you, they are thinking about one question more than anything else: what happens if you finally hear the whole truth? And the answer they are hoping for reveals something they have kept hidden for much longer than you would expect. But there is another layer to this journey. Your soulmate has imagined meeting you again and again, yet every version of that moment ends with the same confession: they want to explain why they pulled back when their feelings were actually becoming stronger. Their silence was not the whole story. Behind it were doubts, timing, uncertainty, and the fear of saying something before they truly understood what they wanted. Now they believe they understand. Something recently reminded them that certain connections cannot be endlessly postponed. Don't skip. The biggest revelation is getting closer. They are no longer asking themselves whether they should speak, they are wondering how to find the right words when the moment arrives. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is one sentence they have been repeating privately, and that sentence is connected directly to the future they have secretly pictured with you. And this is where the journey takes its most surprising turn yet. The decision your soulmate made was not simply, "I need to see this person." It was deeper, "I need to stop leaving this story unfinished." They want clarity about what could happen next, and they know that clarity can only come when both of you understand what has truly been happening. They are carrying questions, explanations, and one revelation that could completely change how you interpret everything that came before. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the closer they imagine getting to you, the more certain they become about what they need to reveal. But there is still one missing piece, the exact moment that pushed them to begin this journey. And when that moment is uncovered, you will understand why waiting suddenly stopped being an option. Then came the moment that changed the entire story. Your soulmate was going through an ordinary day when something unexpectedly reminded them of you, a familiar phrase, a memory, or one tiny detail that brought everything rushing back at once. Suddenly, all the excuses for waiting seemed meaningless. They remembered how much had remained unsaid between you and how easily another day could become another month of silence. That was the turning point. In this story, they decided they would rather discover the truth than spend forever wondering what might have happened. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because their journey is no longer only about reaching you. They are coming toward a conversation that could finally answer the question both sides have been carrying: was this connection meant to remain unfinished, or was the distance only one chapter before something completely different began? But the biggest surprise is what they decided during that moment of clarity. They stopped thinking only about the past and started imagining what could happen next. They pictured sitting across from you without distractions, without confusing signals, and without hiding behind silence. They imagined finally explaining why certain choices were made and why some words never came when you expected them. Don't skip. There is something even bigger underneath all of this. Your soulmate has realized that the conversation they want cannot begin with excuses, it has to begin with honesty. They want to tell you what changed inside them and why your memory continued returning even when they tried to focus elsewhere. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because one revelation remains hidden, before beginning this journey, they made a private promise to themselves about what they would do when they finally had the opportunity to speak with you. And that promise is where everything becomes intense. They promised themselves they would not arrive carrying another half-finished explanation. They would finally say what they truly mean, listen to what you have to say, and accept whatever truth comes from that conversation. But there is one thing they desperately hope you understand before that moment arrives: their decision to travel toward you represents a change from hesitation to action. They are tired of wondering. They want to know whether the future they have quietly imagined has any chance of becoming real. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is still a revelation they have not even admitted openly yet. It concerns the first thing they want to say when they finally see you, and those few words could completely change the meaning of everything that happened before. Now the words they have been holding back are becoming impossible to ignore. In this story, your soulmate has imagined the first moment of seeing you more times than they could count, but every imagined meeting begins differently because they still cannot decide how to explain everything. Should they begin with the silence? Should they explain the moment their feelings changed? Or should they simply admit that distance taught them something they were too distracted to understand before? Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the closer this journey brings them to the truth, the less interested they become in protecting old excuses. They want you to understand one important thing: there was a reason they could never completely close this chapter. Every time they thought they had moved beyond the unanswered questions, something brought their attention back to you. And now they are ready to discover why. But here comes the revelation they never expected to face themselves. They realized that what they wanted most was not some dramatic perfect moment, it was one honest conversation with you. No guessing. No confusing signals. No pretending that important questions do not exist. Don't skip. Their biggest fear is no longer speaking too soon, it is arriving too late. That realization is what gave this journey its urgency. They have been thinking about the possibility that you may have changed, that your feelings may be different, and that life may have moved forward while they were hesitating. Yet instead of turning around, that uncertainty made them even more determined to seek clarity. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is one question they have decided they must ask you, and your answer could completely change what they choose to do next. And this is where everything begins moving toward the biggest turning point. Your soulmate wants to know whether the connection you once shared still deserves another chapter. They are not traveling toward a guaranteed ending, they are traveling toward the truth. And that truth matters because they have quietly made another decision: if there is still something meaningful between you, they do not want fear or hesitation controlling what happens next. They want to approach the future differently, with patience, honesty, and clarity. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because just before making this journey, another unexpected realization entered their mind. It involved something you once did that they never forgot, something that changed the way they saw you forever. And when that memory is finally revealed, you will understand why their journey toward you suddenly became more important than anything they had planned before. What they remembered changed the entire meaning of this journey. It was not some enormous event or dramatic moment, it was something small you did when you probably had no idea they were paying attention. Maybe it was the way you listened, the kindness you showed, or the calm strength you carried when circumstances were uncertain. Whatever that moment was in this story, your soulmate never completely forgot it. And recently, that memory returned with surprising force. Suddenly, they understood why other experiences had never erased your place in their thoughts. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because this memory became more than nostalgia. It became the final reminder that there was something unfinished between you, something they needed to understand before life carried both of you in completely different directions. That is why they kept moving forward instead of turning back. Then another realization hit them. They had spent too much time wondering what you might think instead of simply giving you the opportunity to speak for yourself. They had imagined countless possibilities, but imagination could never provide the answer they needed. Don't skip. This journey became their decision to stop guessing. They want to hear your perspective. They want to understand what the silence meant to you and whether you ever wondered about the same unanswered questions. But here is the surprising part. They are preparing themselves for an answer they cannot control. They know real clarity requires listening as much as speaking. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because underneath all their questions is one truth they have finally accepted: whatever happens next, they would rather know where they truly stand than continue carrying an unfinished story in their mind. And now everything is moving toward the moment they have been imagining. The closer they get, the more unnecessary their rehearsed speeches begin to feel. They are realizing that when the real conversation arrives, honesty may matter more than perfect words. They want to tell you why they waited, why they remembered you, and why something inside them finally said, "Go and find out the truth." Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because there is still one final revelation behind this journey, and it is the one they have struggled hardest to admit. Before they started moving toward you, they asked themselves one question about their future, and the answer surprised even them.